My name is Kateryna Yegorushkina. I'm a Ukrainian writer, and on February 24th, I woke up from explosions in my cozy little town near Kyiv. I went out on the balcony and tried to tape the windows so that they would not fall apart and injure me during the shelling. From my balcony, I saw Russian helicopters. I heard the whistling of shells. The sky suddenly clouded over, and military planes rumbled over me in those clouds. When my hands stopped shaking, I packed my suitcase. I put there my clothes, documents, my children's favorite toys, a book about overcoming psychological trauma, and something very important. These was letters that my grandmother Tanya received during World War II from her beloved. Very touching letters about a war that devours youth and love, about a world that has changed forever. Among them was his farewell letter. My grandmother's fiancé will never return from the war, but he remained in her heart forever. The day the Russians invaded Ukraine, I planned to complete the last chapter of my book about cute animals and their friendship. And now I live in someone else's house, running to the basement during an air raid and writing a children's book about the Russian-Ukrainian war. I'm looking for light in myself to comprehend this tragedy and show it to the world. Choose the right words, give children the resource to relive, remember, integrate this experience and avoid re-traumatization. I had a wonderful life, family, friends, an apartment in a new building, 16 books published, translations abroad. Our culture and literature have developed very rapidly. Ukrainian writers increasingly took on complex topics. I wrote a children's book about the Holodomor, the famine genocide of the Ukrainian people by Stalin's rule in 1932-1933. Millions of Ukrainians died then, including my grandmother's sisters. I wrote a book about the Christmas traditions of the world and the Ukrainian diaspora, about how Ukrainians have preserved their national identity in exile for many years. It calls Christmas and my 12 grandmothers. I wrote a book about the Koryukivka tragedy that took place during the World War II in the Chernihiv region. Then the Nazis murdered about 7,000 civilians. The Nuremberg trials recognize this tragedy as the largest in World War II. My book is called Pichka and should be published immediately after the Russian-Ukrainian war. It hurts me a lot that the Russians killed more than 100 little Ukrainians in 3 weeks, killed pregnant women, maimed and orphaned hundreds of children. Russians are bombing schools, kindergartens, maternity hospitals, and children's hospitals. The victims of this war will never read books again. Freedom is a key value of Ukrainians as opposed to Russians. It is the very spirit of freedom that they are trying to destroy and are ready to level us to the ground with their bombs. We have freedom of speech and creative expression. We comprehend historical tragedies and write about it. Our motto is never again. We are looking to the future, but Russia is trying to reconstruct a rotten past that stings for the whole world. We love our land, and we will surely win this brutal war of terror. I hope that the world shares our values and supports not only democratic Ukraine, but the whole of Europe in the struggle for the future. Thank you.